Welcome back to Christina's Garage, Gearhead in Training. I am back at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for Holley LS Fest West 2025. This is day 2. It is completely packed here. There's a lot going on and there's a lot to see. What are you most excited for?
All the races today.
Do you have a particular race that you have as your favorite?
Probably the drag races.
Today I'm excited to watch the drifting. My buddy Marco's going to be running in it. And like seeing cars slide.
Carnage.
Carnage is fun.
I'm excited to see all the cars and see what these bad boys can do. So I'm looking forward to it. I love listening to the cars, love watching them, so I'm excited.
All the racing, all of it. It's going to be a good time.
The burnouts.
Cars, motors, beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Gotta love the beer.
I'm most excited for the drift show and most of the drag cars.
I'm most excited for the off-roading main event. Last year we were here and I think they jumped a bus or something, and the first year they jumped a limo. So we'll see what they jump this year.
I am excited for Burnout Wars. I always love Burnout Wars every year I come.
Remember Kevin, if you saw him yesterday, he was the one that we interviewed about the drift races, and lo and behold, he races autocross. What brought you to get into autocross?
Actually, funny you asked that. So I built this car in 2020 in COVID and took it all apart, built it for the drag strip. And then my friend and I decided, hey, we want to find an event that's mostly GM platform stuff. And we found LS Fest. And so 2021, we're like, hey, let's try to figure out and do everything as much as we can and jam pack as much stuff. So we're like, let's sign up for the Grand Champion. So we signed up for the Grand Champion and we're all set for the drag strips. That was our whole mission the whole weekend. We wanted to have the best drag times against all our friends that were out here. And so then we tried autocross for the first time. And I fell in love with it. It's one of those things that I didn't think I was gonna love. It's just completely different. You get to feel your car in a different way than on a drag strip. So it takes a little bit more skill, and it's a fun driving experience too. And it lasts more than 10, 12 seconds in a drag strip.
Yeah, because I noticed that a lot of the races with the time frame and more to do.
Yeah.
Obviously there is a lot, there's a lot of hand-eye coordination, everything with drag racing. Autocross has caught my attention because of, it's essentially EVOC on crack.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so much stuff that you can do to the cars, from suspension to brakes to, a lot of the vendors that are out here, like you mentioned, Bear Brakes. And I was over there earlier today looking at them. I was looking at pedalers and looking at, coilovers for this, because that's the next step, is going to do coilovers on it and, a big brake kit on it. And you get to really feel your car in the way that the car should be driven. And you get to, especially with having a 6-speed manual, you get to drive it and row through the gears and have a good time and beat on it. And especially out here, you get to do it in a closed course, safe environment. Safety's first, but it just makes it that much more fun that everybody else is doing the same thing. And there's people that out here, this is my 4th year out here. There's people out here that have been doing autocross stuff for, since autocross started. 15, 20 years I've seen people that have been out here. But then there's new people, and it's cool to kind of get them to go into them like, hey, I was there 4 years ago, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna have a good time.
What advice would you give to somebody who's maybe watching this going, oh, that's so cool, I want to try it, and they're new, they don't know anybody, they don't have any experience? Do you have entry-level advice? Absolutely.
Find a car that you love, get that car if you don't have it already, and just run it. There's autocross events all over near you, and you can just find an event, meet some buddies. You're gonna make a lot of friends in the car industry. And especially if you have already something in common, you like to drive, and you like to have fun with the cars. It's not about the amount of money that you spend at the car. It's about having fun with it. And as long as you're improving the stuff that you're doing every time, that's all that matters.
What are your names?
My name's William Saudi. I'm Bryce Auger.
You guys are pitting and a manager for a drift team?
Yes, so I manage Gatsby Racing. Bryce is one of our mechanics that works for us.
What is it like? Because most people have only seen drifting on Fast and the Furious. What is it like actually doing it?
You have to do everything in 5 minutes. And if you don't, you're done for the weekend.
Yeah, he pretty much summed it up. Everything in 5 minutes. If you can't do it any faster, that's your weekend over.
How did you guys get into doing drifting?
I actually watched that Fast and Furious movie And I was like, man, I really want to do that for a job. Fast forward to I'm 29 now, and that's what I do.
That's cool.
I'd probably say about the same. Yeah.
What advice would you give to people? Because obviously there's a lot of people that were in your past position where they're like, that's really cool, I want to get involved. For someone who maybe doesn't know anybody, doesn't have any experience, what would your recommendation be?
Just go to a drift event and just talk to people. Be friendly, tell them who you are, tell them what you want to do, and always offer help to anybody. You'll be surprised who actually says yes.
Just say yes. Get into it. Go buy a car and just start driving, even if it's stock.
This is Dino, and you're the driver for this vehicle.
Correct.
What is it?
It is a Nissan 240.
And so for someone like myself who's super new, like how do you even set up a drift car? Like obviously you can get this standard normal. Like what do you do differently to make it a drift car?
So there's angle kits that go on the front, and then the diff in the back is either got a locker or you weld it. So in like the beginner levels, you can just go and weld the diff. So the wheels lock up in the back, and that's what helps you create traction to slide.
Got it, because I noticed with Autocross, when they do the sharp turns, they don't drift.
Correct, they have a limited slip.
Got it.
So it's kind of like in four-wheel drive, if you get a truck up on a rock, one tire starts to spin. We need both tires to spin because we need so much traction. We're pushing against our front tires at an angle, and that we have to go push forward to go sideways. So despite what people think, in the beginning cars, you air up the tires as much as you can because you got low horsepower to slide. In these, we're looking for grip. Like in my car right now, I think we're running 12 PSI in the back. So we're running them half flat to try to get as much grip as we can to the ground to push the car.
And how many tires do you guys go through? Because I
We
see
go
you have a
through
bunch
2.
here.
Yeah, we go through, at this particular track, we're getting about 3 laps. So, yeah.
Do you change tires each time you go?
Every time, yeah, because there's a one oddball, so it's always a fresh set for each battle.
Got it. So if someone is interested in drifting, they don't have a souped up drift car, and they want to get started, like what's a good entry level way to do that?
The grassroots drifting is really picking up across the nation. We travel a lot, and we see a ton of new people coming into the sport. 350Zs, Nissan 240s, Corvettes. There's so much aftermarket support now that you can bolt on cheaper kits to give you little bits of angle and go from there. It's not as intense as it was like in fabrication. Over the last 10 years, I've been doing it for 14. It was kind of like finding stuff from Japan and like listening to people on forums and trying to figure out stuff. Now they got cookie cutter kits in all different kind of price levels. And then one of the things we push to new people is don't buy the big expensive kit right off the bat for the angle. Start with a little bit less angle because you got less power. You'll learn much more on car control and help you in the sport. And then when you're ready, start spending the money when you can drive that.
And you wouldn't recommend driving it stock?
Almost
like
stock, right? Well, the diff, a little minor kit, suspension. But the front angle kits, there's big companies like we run Wisestab. The kits are pretty expensive. But they have ones that you just bolt little clips onto the knuckles and it gives you a little bit more angle. And you can almost start with a stock car. Like 350Z is a great platform for people to come into. You can take that car, weld the diff, and spend $1,500, and you're ready to go drift.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest question, did you get into this because of watching Fast and the Furious?
So a weird scenario is I came from grip racing and desert racing. And so I was here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They opened up a school called U-Drift. And so I went out there and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I went out to drift and I thought I could drive anything. So I'm like, I've driven everything on the planet. I'll kill this. And I went out there and it was everything opposite of what I learned. So it was so frustrating to spend an hour in a car that I couldn't drive. And I had these little guys just out there kicking my butt. And I'm like, I got to learn this, And then the sport kept growing. We worked with a tire manufacturer in desert racing. They came over with me and said, it's a new and upcoming sport, get into it. So we jumped and made the ship.
You guys remember Trent? We met, well, I didn't actually meet you in person last year. I filmed, and then we connected on Instagram afterwards. It's been a whole year, which is kind of crazy. So you also won your, because they're different divisions, or what do they call them?
They were doing a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive class.
So you won the 4-wheel drive. You were hauling ass.
Thank you.
How, because I know that they changed the track at least a little bit every year. In comparison, you were talking about how the jumps made it, you had to take them a certain way to make sure you hit them right.
Yeah, the ones in the grandstands, those ones you just flat out. But the big jump, it's not set up for these short wheelbase cars. We just nosedive, so you're not hitting it very fast. You got to check up a lot, and then when you land, you just get back on it. Those two-wheel drive trucks are, almost 200 inches long. Well, probably not that long, but they're long, and they just float.
Do they let you like walk it, kind of like how autocross, they can walk the track?
No, our practice was yesterday, and I about crashed this thing off that jump.
Ah.
So I learned real quick what to do.
Do they give you any kind of like, hey, this is what's going to happen or anything like that? Or you guys
just go up there and look at the track? And if you wanted to walk, you probably could, but I just stood up there and looked at it.
If someone is interested in racing out here, are entry-level type people able to enter in something like this?
As long as they have an LS, yeah. And they meet all the safety requirements and all that. I mean, you have to have all your race gear. So.
And they tell you all that on the website, probably what you would need to have.
Yeah, then we have tech here, and they go through, look at your cars, make sure you pass tech, fire extinguishers. Make sure it's legit because you don't want nobody getting hurt.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I'm glad you had a good time and that you won. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot better than last year. Didn't roll this year.
Oh, that's definitely a win.
Yeah.
This is Ben. We just met this morning. No, or was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yes, because we saw that. I don't know what happened to your truck at that time.
I had melted some airlines, and then it had caused it to go down on the ground on both sides because I'm smart and I decided to use a bad truck to do burnout competitions with. So that's the first part of it.
So he's doing Burnout Wars. We just watched you do another run. Right now you're waiting, you said, a few minutes to let it cool down because it's up on its back.
It's very hot, very hot. I got to fix one of the airlines and melt it, so we figure, we'll just wait a little bit, let it cool down so I don't burn myself, go in there, fix it, we'll pull it back to the pit, and I'll be driving it tonight on the strip.
If someone is looking into doing Burnout Wars in the future, what would you recommend for them? Because it seems like there's a lot of carnage being willing to get into that.
Prepare to put a lot of heart and soul into it, and if you want to do this professionally, I would definitely look into doing starting small and then working your way into this, and then that way you kind of understand what you're getting yourself into. There's a lot of mechanical knowledge that needs to be involved when you're breaking down at high shows like this.
Yeah, because you have to look underneath and have an idea, okay, well, how are you even going to get it out of here?
Yeah, exactly. You have to go through a lot of that stuff. I mean, most people won't go through this issue specifically, but I mean, you can blow up rear ends, you can blow up motors, there's a lot of things that happen, and it can happen on your first day. So it's a big risk, but it's probably the funnest reward because it's a liberating feeling. It's such a fun, there's nothing like it. You get to have a moment of man and machine, but it's not just man and machine. You feel like you're almost like an omni-god. You're you know what I mean? You're able to do whatever.
And how long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing the burnout competitions and burnout stuff with this truck. Only this truck. I've been doing most of them with 5 years, 6 years.
So you definitely have enough experience to kind of understand what to do.
Yeah, I've done SEMA 2 years with Hoonigans. That was really, really fun. And I've done a lot of the Holley shows and stuff like that, and those are a lot of fun. SEMA was one of the ones that broke me in. They definitely had a good rule. That's no one wants to see you go in a circle. They want to see destruction, and that's what we gave them today. And that's why my bet is now. I hit it really hard.
Oh, on the wall?
Yeah, I wall tapped really hard.
Okay, because it's so hard to see.
Yeah. The whole back of this thing now is shoved forward a little bit.
A little bit of unwanted body work.
Well, what I'm thinking we're going to do, we'll hook something up to it and we'll yank it. And that should probably straighten it out most of the way.
And a good reason why you have it is a patina truck.
Yeah, this is great. I call it scratch and sniff.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Way to end day 2 with a ton of carnage. That was crazy. I met so many cool people. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Watch for tomorrow's video. It's going to be the last of LS Fest West in Las Vegas. turn on your alerts and subscribe to my channel so that you can watch it when it drops. See you tomorrow.